.com, and I'm going to do some talking about this month's theme, which is revealing the real you. There's many ways in which we reveal ourselves and our authentic selves, and essentially what we're doing throughout our entire lives is letting our soul evolve and shine through all of those energetic blocks and imprints that were from the past before this life, the stuff that we've inherited through our ancestry and DNA lineage. If you weren't aware of it, that is something that happens. We inherit through our mother and father these energetic patterns that we then need to do some work through our lives to release. Many ways to release these energetic blocks and imprints that we have either created for ourselves or inherited. And that can be through simple things like yoga and breath work or exercise. That can be through meditation. Gazillion different kinds of alternative healing methods that can be used to facilitate releasing these blockages. So what I do as the Theta Healing, that's something is just one piece of the options that you have for releasing the blocks. And so you'll get to experience one version of that today when we do the healing meditation. Many different aspects of yourself to reveal. The one that we're going to do the healing meditation for today is going to be more on a global aspect. We have our personal revealing of our own personalities, our own expression of creativity of who we are on a personal level versus the expression of ourselves when we interact with people out in our community, out in the world. Whether you travel or not, you're experiencing meeting people from other countries just by interacting with others who are not your same nationality, who are not your same culture, who are not your same religion. So all of those aspects of yourself that you express through those avenues, you are still shining through with either some negative imprints or you're shining through with some positive energy. So what do I mean by that? One really super awesome example was with a conversation I had with a client not very long ago. And I was telling him about the work that I was doing with some global healing and cultural healing work. And he said, well, what is that and what does that mean? And I was explaining to him what I do with that. And he goes, oh, he says, does that mean something like this? He said, there was an experience that I had when I was around 30 years old, when I was on a business trip, and we were meeting with some people who were from Germany through the company that he was working with at the time. And he had no knowledge of any issues personally with anyone from Germany. He'd never met anyone from Germany before that he'd ever known about. He went through the process of meeting this person, shaking hands, and as he's going through that initial interaction, he's immediately feeling, wow, I got a problem with this person. He's thinking to himself, gosh, I don't know if I like this guy. And he's going, and he's got one message going in his head, and the other message is saying, well, that doesn't make any sense. I've never met this guy before. This doesn't make any sense. I've never met anybody from Germany before. But he was very aware of the fact that this guy was German. He was very aware that that was an issue for him. He was feeling it deep in his core inside. It was a short-term blip that came up inside him, and then he squashed it down and he said, this is ridiculous, that's nuts. And then he ignored it. And it laid buried, and that was an experience that he had 25 years ago. And here he is telling me about this experience about a month ago, and I'm explaining to him that that's a buried imprint that he may have either inherited from his parents or he may have had a past experience in his soul's experience. And when you think about, and this was something that was very personal for me because I have German lineage through my father. And in doing some of my own healing work, I found out that my mother took on some energetic imprints and identities of my dad's German lineage so that he could be the breadwinner and the bring home the money guy for our family. That is something that sometimes we unknowingly do with partners or with people that we're very close to. Sometimes we take on energetic imprints through our identities. And so his German lineage has a whole bunch of financial lack in it. When you think about the German lineage with the Holocaust and all of that deprivation and lack and all that was stolen and the poverty from all of the Jewish people, the Polish people, the list of the people who were affected by the Holocaust goes way beyond the Jewish population. It's essentially most of all of the cultures of Europe were the people who were affected. And so, yet the German lineage was very impacted from both the side of the German Jewish who were persecuted, and then you've also got the Germans who were on the other side of it causing the persecution. So there's an immense amount of guilt. There's guilt and responsibility and all of the stuff that goes with that. And so that is something that he inherited, my dad, through his dad, because he came from the old country. And that is a cultural connection to the old country, even though my dad was born here in the United States. And you would say, well, gosh, intellectually, we don't have a connection to the Holocaust in Germany because our family was living here at the time. Yet those are energetic ties that don't break just because someone leaves their old country. Those are energetic ties that are there and stay and travel with you. And you pass them on through your lineage. So then my mom takes on some lack from him, and then I had inherited through my mother in the womb. And so this was a very interesting thing for me to find out through doing the process of the Theta Healing and digging that out and going, wow, what an interesting impact. And if that was one small piece of something that was affecting me on a cultural level that I would never, ever have thought about before. So these are the things that I'm talking about as far as community and globally with all of those cultural, political, and race issues. And most people in this day and age and most people in this country would say, you know what, I don't have any prejudices. I'm not a prejudiced person. You would consider yourself to be somebody who doesn't discriminate against others. You would consider yourself to be someone who doesn't do those things. Yet when you have these energetic imprints, you have this happening on a subconscious level and running in a background pattern that you're not aware of. Okay? So, you've also been on the receiving end of discrimination and prejudice from someone else for this exact same reason. You may have, by your presence to that person, triggered something in them that they recognize something in you. And then they're having their energetic imprint triggered by your heritage present, by your cultural presence, by your religious presence, by whatever it is that's showing up at that moment that is energetically triggering. We trigger each other all the time with these imprints and patterns. So what we're going to do today is actually do some healing work for some of these cultural imprints and patterns. And so if you would put the healing meditation music on, that would be phenomenal. And this will work for those of you who are listening on the recording. You will be able to do this meditation and receive the healing as well. There's nothing required that you need to do here. You can sit comfortably. You don't have to have your feet on the floor. You don't have to be in, Om, finger and thumb thing. That's not required. Just to sit comfortably as you are is fine. All you need to do is just give me permission to energetically connect with you and send you this healing. And you can just say that yes in your head. That's all that's necessary. You may feel some energy around your crown chakra as the connection happens and the energy channels through. And it might just help if we all take a nice deep breath and just slowly let it out and just relax and let those shoulders drop and let the tension go. Helps with the receiving a little bit. Now there's two things that we do with energy healing. We're either bringing positive energy in or we're releasing negative energy out. And what I'm going to do first is do some positive energy in for you. So now the Creator of all that is channeling to you the energy of love. And this is the Creator's perspective, truth, understanding, and definition of love. It's not our human version. This is the Creator's definition of love and truth of love and the vibration of love. And the Creator is sending this down into you, into every cell of your being, to every cell of your soul. So if there was ever a time, a moment in your soul's past where you made a decision that love was too painful to accept and receive, or that love was difficult, you may have made a decision to shut down some of your receptors to love. And you may not be fully experiencing it right now in this present moment. So the Creator of all that is channeling this to you to repair that. Along with love and unconditional love, the Creator is also channeling to you the ability to accept and receive love from yourself and from others. And now the Creator is going to channel to you the vibration of peace. For inner peace, peace with others, peace with the Creator, the universe, Gaia, peace with nature and the animals, and now the Creator of all that is going to channel harmony, the truth of harmony from the Creator to all of the aspects of your soul. Harmony with yourself, harmony with others, the Creator, the universe, and Gaia. And along with the truth of each of these vibrations, the Creator is also sending you the how-to, the when-to, the where-to, and what it feels like to have this in every cell of your body. That it's safe and possible and that you're allowed to have all of this, that you're worthy and deserving of having this, to have the knowing and the experience of all of this. And now the Creator of all that is sending you the vibration of compassion. To fully experience compassion for yourself and with yourself and for others. Understanding. The Creator's truth of understanding. Tolerance. Tolerance for yourself, tolerance for others. Patience. Patience with yourself, patience with others. And now you're receiving cooperation. The truth of the vibration of cooperation. It is said that cooperation is one of the most important things that is necessary on our planet for all of us to get along and to eliminate war. Yes, we need communication, yet the vibration of cooperation is even more important. The willingness to show up and cooperate. And the vibration of positive interaction. So now as those vibrations are layering in for you, layering into you, we are now going to do a removal of some negativity. So now we are going to have the Creator remove for you an experience that you've had at some time in your life of the experience of discrimination or prejudice. You don't have to have a conscious memory of this in order for it to release. If you have one that's popping up in your mind, that's probably the one that's going to be releasing. So the Creator is going to go back to the creation of that experience of prejudice and discrimination. And is going to release the trauma and the shock and the cellular trauma that you experienced with that interaction or that event or that experience. And that means mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, in all the ways that your soul experienced it. And this is going to happen on all levels of your soul, meaning this life, your past lives, your ancestry, because this experience that you've had may be just an echo of something way farther back in your soul's history, or way farther back in your ancestral line. And it's just merely showing up in your life as an echo for you to see it and have it, an experience to mirror it to you, to know that the problem exists. Usually the experiences of discrimination and prejudice are not root caused in this life. They usually go back much farther. So along with the trauma and the shock that's being released, the Creator is also releasing all of the disappointment, all of the judgment from others, the judgment from yourself. Along with the pain and suffering. You are also releasing the embarrassment, the humiliation, the shame, blame, and guilt associated with this event. The Creator is going to teach your body and your DNA how to be without this trauma and how to be without the negativity of this experience. And that means releasing any negative habits that were created out of this interaction. That means releasing any negative consequences that were created out of this interaction. Releasing any of the triggers that were taken on. And the Creator is also going to give you the lessons, to download the lessons for you. If there's something coming to mind about this experience and a lesson or a learning, those are important. And the Creator is going to mark all of these lessons as complete and done so that you don't have to continue to experience these lessons. Because you've now learned them. And the Creator is also releasing any contracts or obligations or agreements that you may have either consciously or unconsciously made through this experience or event or interaction. Could be as simple as a negative decision. And all of those are being released. And these contracts and agreements and obligations are all being marked complete and done so that you don't have to continue with these. And the Creator of all that is also going to retrieve any lost soul fragments, soul pieces that you may have left behind, or if this was a traumatic experience, this may have been some piece of your soul that left out of fear or survival. or as a coping mechanism. So the Creator is bringing any of those lost soul pieces back. Reconnecting them with your soul and your body. And it is safe and possible. And you're allowed to accept those soul pieces back. And this includes any fragments that were frozen in time or stolen by another person. Sometimes people can unknowingly steal energy from us. So that is now repaired. And now we're going to do some healing for any event or experience or interaction where you were the one who was actually doing the discrimination or prejudice. We're going to release that experience and the trauma of all of that. And this does not, again, need to be a conscious memory. It may be something so far back in your soul's memory that you may not have a conscious awareness of it. So along with all of the trauma and shock and cellular trauma that went with this experience, the Creator is also removing all of the shame and blame and guilt, any embarrassment or humiliation, judgment from others, judgment from yourself, or any perceived judgment from the Creator. Underline the word perceived because the Creator does not judge us. The contracts are being removed, if there are any. The lessons are being downloaded for you. And all of this is being marked as complete and done so that you no longer need to carry this forward. And the Creator is retrieving any soul pieces or fragments if necessary, and bringing those back to your soul and your body, washed and cleansed and fully integrated. The Creator is also teaching your body and your DNA how to be without this negative experience in your imprint, so that you can move forward with positive interaction. With these changes integrated. For some of you, these healings may have been pretty big. So you may be experiencing some energy shifting after we're done with the meditation here. It may be a few minutes more, it may be a few hours more, it may be ongoing throughout the day, off and on. So just know if you experience any more energy shifting, that's all it is. Because this is all being done in your highest and best way, and it may not be happening right at this exact moment. As sometimes it's a layering in process. Okay, that was perfect ending of the music. As we're getting to the end of this now, you can bring yourself back into the room. You don't have to open your eyes. You can continue to have an inward focus if you would like. So that's an experience of global healing. And when you heal yourself in this way, you heal the planet. Because that healing that you just received, that went through every person that your DNA connected to, and through all of your past lives, and all of the people that you were DNA connected to in those past lives. Wow, are you seeing how expansive that is? How many cultures, how many religions, how many political systems have just been impacted by this one healing that you just did? Yeah, that's gargantuan, isn't it? Amazing to think that you can have an impact like that on the world. And this is exactly what I am doing with my global healing initiative called Miracles for Peace. This is the focus of that. I have my private healing practice here, working with individual clients and groups. Yet I have this side little initiative that's been going on for 40 years now. And that's another story that you can read about on the website if you would like. I won't tell you about that now. So Miracles for Peace is doing cultural healing to heal all of these issues amongst us, even when we don't know we've got them. And the challenge in doing this healing work is actually getting people to show up and do the work, even when they don't know that they need this kind of healing. So, one thing that you can do to help this project is to spread the word about this. You can go to miraclesforpeace.com and sign up on the email list, and when there is an event happening, you'll get a notice of it. I don't send out emails just to send out emails, so don't worry about that. It's only when there's something to tell you about that I actually send one out. And you can also help with this project by telling others and making them aware of the impact that they can have. I'm listening for some messages from Creator, if there's anything that Creator wants to tell you. The Creator wants to say that you are loved. You're now seeing some beaming love coming through me that the Creator wants to shine onto you, to thank you for being here, to thank you for getting up and being here this morning. The Creator is very, very grateful to you for showing up and doing this healing for the planet. Healing for... Okay, well, we can't do healing for other people. We can do healing for our inner children, though. That's acceptable. The one thing that is, one thing that you may know if you've ever interacted with the healer is that we need to have permission to do healing work for any particular person. And if it is a child, that healing work has to be approved through the guardian or parent. And so that's where I have a little stuck issue there. Yet we can do sending to anyone, even a stranger on the street. We can send love and unconditional love. That is the one thing that we can do that is universal, that we do not need to have permission for. So at any moment in the day, you can certainly, even sitting here right now, you know somebody in distress, send some love and healing love. That's just sending a healing, loving prayer. And you can just intentionally send love and unconditional love to them. I do this all the time when I see a ambulance or a squad car going down the street. I send love to that person that they're going to. I see someone that looks like they may be having a challenging moment, or doesn't matter if it's mentally, emotionally, physically, I send loving, healing light and love and unconditional love to them. Doesn't even need to be someone in struggle. You can just spontaneously say, nope, I just feel like sending that person love. Let's just send them some love. And so right now, let's go ahead and fulfill this request, and let's send some healing and love and unconditional love to your inner children. We say inner child, but there may be more than one inner child that we're housing inside of us, different ages of our inner child. And let's send love, unconditional love, and gratitude to our inner child. Gratitude for the patience that our inner children need to put up with us as adults. Gratitude for their patience in waiting for us to hear them, because that sometimes can be a challenge. We squash down our inner child's voice quite often. We get busy in our routines, busy in our adult needs, and sometimes our inner child has something to say and needs to speak. It's really an incredible gift that you can give yourself if you can take a moment in the morning or evening or periodically throughout the day and say, do you need to talk to me? Do I need to hear from you right now? It doesn't even need to be communication and talk, and can just be the intention of sending some love to your inner child. Send a hug and say, thank you for sticking with me through all of this. We want to send some gratitude for your inner child's courage and strength, for all that you went through and endured as your childhood, through your childhood. Even if you had a great childhood with very few challenges, you still, at the aspect of your soul and your inner child, perceived some challenges that were challenging, difficult, unpleasant. So let's send some courage and strength. And let's send some gratitude for our inner child's creativity. Creativity and spontaneity, playfulness. Those are some of the best attributes of ourselves. Some of our best attributes of our personality come from our inner children.